everybody, welcome back to the Hair Lounge. My name is Angelina and I'm a licensed stylist. Today we're going to do something a little different, kind of fun, and it's inspired by my pink shirt. Stay tuned. If you enjoy learning about hair, click the subscribe button and the bell to get notified for all my new videos. So I'm getting a little sick of my hair and I want to try something different, but I'm not sure what I want to do exactly, so I don't want to do anything permanent. And I found this fun pink pop color refresher at Cosmoprof, and I figured why not use this to see if I can get a soft pink on my ends that are already blonde and hold me over until I decide what I want to do. I've never used it before, so we're gonna try it all together. To begin, I sprayed my ends with a tiny bit of water because it says it needs to go on towel dried hair. This is also a color mask, so it's kind of more of a conditioning treatment. And so instead of doing it just straight on my dry ends, because who knows, it might absorb all of that color, I just sprayed it with a water bottle, so my ends were just a little bit damp. I'm also going to use some gloves, latex gloves, to protect my hands, and then put on this nice black cape to protect my pink shirt. Stay tuned while I get it all prepared. How do I look? I'm all draped, I have my gloves on, I have opened the mask. As you can see, it's a very bright pink color. We'll see how it looks on my ends. I'm just going to use my fingertips. It says you can also use a comb and just start applying it kind of where I want it. No rhyme or reason to it. We're just gonna go for it. It also says you can leave on between 3 to 10 minutes, depending on your desired intensity. I might go 10 minutes because I always tell you guys, I like to live on the wild side. So here we go. Let me get a tiny bit closer. You might not see the top of my head for a second, but I wanna make sure you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. It's nice because it's actually fairly thick, so it's not super drippy, which is nice. And I'm just gonna kinda grab this chunk in the front and run it through. Like I said, no rhyme or reason to it. I'm just making sure I am getting it all the way through my hair shaft. Kind of smushing it in. That way it goes all the way through that actual section of hair. Okay, not too bad. I'm gonna try to keep this hand with no color on it so I can pick the pieces out. And again, get a little bit on my ends, or on my hands, and put it on my ends. This is kind of a fun way to incorporate kind of those fun fashion colors without the commitment. Like I said, I haven't used this before, so who knows how long it lasts. It may rinse right out when I shampoo it for the first time, which, like I said, that's okay because I'm just having fun and playing with different colors until I decide what I actually want to do with my hair. Again, smushing it in, just kind of making sure I'm spreading it all the way throughout that section. Just using my fingers to smush it in. So now, for this section, I think I'm gonna go up just a tiny bit higher. Again, getting it on my fingertips. Putting majority of the product down at the very, very bottom. And I'm gonna try to feather it up a little higher. Got a little right there, but oh well. tiny bit higher than those other pieces that I did in the front. As you can see, I'm kind of leaving gaps in between, so that way it's just not going to be one kind of ombre effect. I'm just kind of grabbing random pieces, getting a tiny bit more on my hands and smushing it all in. And I also take this one up just a tiny bit higher, kind of trying to more feather it in. And when I say feather, I'm not really pushing super hard. It's more kind of the outside of that section versus really smushing it into that top section. Again, going up a tiny bit higher than these front pieces. Might do one more section back here. Again, getting a tiny bit more on my hands. It smells really delicious, actually. Doesn't have a kind of color smell to it whatsoever, which is nice. But it does smell really good. And it feels like when I'm putting it on my ends, it feels like it is kind of conditioning my ends. The more I run my hand down that hair shaft, it seems like it's pretty soft feeling. So that's kind of nice. These pink ends might feel pretty conditioned. Okay, what do you guys think? Does that seem like enough? Should I do some of my bangs? Why not, right? Let's see if we can kind of grab a little section out of my bangs. Let's see here. There we go. Again, I'm trying to keep this left glove without pink, so that way I can piece out the pieces that I want and not stain random little spots whenever I'm grabbing the hair that I want to put the pink on. What do you think? Should I do another little spot? Let's do another one in this front section. Maybe just not as thick. Okay. So this would be good for someone who already has blonde in your hair. I can't imagine, since it's not really a super pigmented, permanent color. Someone who has brown hair, you're probably not gonna notice it on your hair. You might get a tiny bit of a tint, but I can't imagine you'll see very much. Let's take it back just a tiny bit further. So someone who already has blonde ends, this will work better. And I'm hoping it, like I said, I haven't used this before in my hair, but I'm hoping it kind of gives it more of a pastel pink look, even if it's a little too bright at first. Like I said, it's not permanent, so it's just gonna gradually fade off. So that's kind of why I'm doing it anyways, because it's not permanent. Okay, what do you guys think? Does that seem like enough on that side? Okay, let's move on to my other side. Again, keeping this hand clean and just kind of randomly picking some pieces out. You want to kind of balance it. So like this front section, let me scoot back a little bit. So this front section, I'm going to kind of keep it in the same line as this other one and not go up super high. That way it looks pretty balanced. Pretty dang close. Okay. Now we'll move on. Try to keep this hand clean. Move on to the section back behind. Grabbing a little bit more. And same thing, not going up super high. Trying to keep these front sections similar to my left side on placement. Make sure you're really smushing it through those ends, kind of feathering it up. Seems pretty good. Go back a little further, and now this section I'll go up a tiny bit higher like I did on that other side. Continuing all the way back. Try to get some of this stuff that's on the back of my head too. That way it's just not in the very front sections. And I'm kind of doing it blind. I'm not really looking back there. So we shall see how it turns out. Should I take up a little bit more in this front section since I have my bangs? I think we should. Okay, let's just now let it sit and process. Like I said, I'm going to do 10 minutes. That way we can just kind of see how it is. Check the clock, and I'll be back in 10. Thanks for waiting. I waited the 10 minutes. I rinsed it out with very cold water. It says not to shampoo it, but I did shampoo it because I was bad. I didn't have fresh, clean hair whenever I did it. So I shampooed my scalp really good. I didn't really put any shampoo on my ends. And then rinsed that out, did my conditioner, focused that just on my ends, and rinsed out with very cold water still. So as you can see, there's a decent amount in there, and it's actually fairly bright. The reason I rinsed with cool water is because it keeps the cuticle sealed, and that way I don't lose as much of the pink pigment out of my ends. I'm gonna spray this leave-in conditioner it's a 10, just on my ends, and then use my wet brush to brush it out, focusing on my ends to get all of those tangles out first before I move my way up. Dripping like crazy. So where did I put my towel? I'll be back. I gotta go get my towel. Okay, so towel dried it, brushing it out, checking out the fun color. What do you guys think? Leave a comment down below and tell me what you think. Don't worry if you don't love it. It won't hurt my feelings, and like I said, it's not permanent. So I will go ahead and dry it. That way you guys can see what it looks like on dry hair. So stay tuned for the dried look. Here we are, all dry. I did a rough dry, so it's a little wild, but as you can see, it's pretty pink. I'm pretty impressed. I obviously do not wear my hair this way, so I am going to curl it, and this is how it looks curled. Okay, here we are, now with it all curled. What do you guys think? I think it looks pretty cool, and the fact that it's temporary is just fun, something different, something funky. Say you have an event. FYI, my husband works at T-Mobile, and they are the magenta color, so this could be fun for it. But I just love the fact that you can do something temporary. Who knows, this may last me one shampoo, but it at least changes it up a little bit to get you out of the hair rut. I definitely like it curled better. Leave a comment down below and tell me what you guys think of the color. I can tell you guys that they do have other colors than this. I'm not exactly sure, but I'll link all the different colors down below. That way you can check it out for your hair. Like I said, it does only work for blonde hair. Getting this bright, you may be able to see a tiny bit of tint on kind of lighter brown hair, but unfortunately it only works for blonde since it is more of a temporary color. I hope you guys like this video. It is something a little different that I haven't done before. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit the bell, that way you can get notified for all of my new up and coming videos. Thanks for stopping by. See you next time. Bye.